Audio Jungle.
Woo! We're back.
We're back, Lewis. We're back.
We are back in black.
Back in black. You gotta reel it in.
We gotta reel it in.
Audio Jungle.
All right, we hit all the checkpoints to say during the music, so I think we're ready to start the
We're ready to
podcast.
begin.
Before we do start, though, we want to say thank you, sincerely, from the bottom of our hearts for the warm and great response to the first episode.
Yeah, it's been great. We've got 183 views on our YouTube account and 40 subscribers.
Ooh.
And on our Instagram account,
Yep.
we have 78 followers.
Damn, and
Isn't that crazy?
And he did that maintaining eye contact. He
Hey.
didn't even look at his notes.
Nah, bro. I don't need to, Lewis, because I care for our fans.
Of course. We no, but legitimately, we thank you.
Big thanks.
This has been a passion project that we've been trying to get off the ground, and the great response is very, very nice to hear. And we like to know that you guys are enjoying it and know that you want us to keep doing it, which we're more than happy to do.
Obviously.
So we have a great episode in store for
Yes.
all of you today.
Putting the fight in pillow fight.
Yeah, we say that every time, but we're going to do it today, legitimately.
Yeah.
We have a very heated topic, Ari. What is the topic?
The topic is water wet?
It's a age-old debate.
It is.
People, year 9 science classes all around the world debate this topic.
And we have very opposite views on this topic, I believe, as well.
We do, and I do want to state before we start that I'm actually on the debating team, Ari.
Yeah, well, Lewis, I've got logic and facts on my side.
Well,
So we'll have to see who wins this one.
I'm going to pull a bit of a Ben Shapiro on you.
Okay.
I'm going to destroy you with facts and logic.
All right. Let's get right into it, Lewis.
Do you want to go? Do you want to first? Can I start?
Go ahead, mate.
I think that from all the research I've been doing, that the problem, the water wet problem, I'm going to call it, is a definition problem. I think that the different conclusions that we'll come out of the definition that we state. So I think before we start, it's important that we come to the same definition. And I want to tell you why it's important. I want to use a different example.
Go ahead.
So, do you know that if a tree falls in a forest and no one's there to hear it, did the tree really fall?
Yeah, and I understand that one.
Yeah, so there's two conclusions you can reach. If we define sound on the basis that it has to be perceived by someone who can hear, then no, the tree didn't fall because no one was there to hear the sound, therefore there was no sound.
Mm-hmm.
But if we define sound as air compressions that travel through the air, then yeah, it doesn't matter if anyone's there to hear it, it happened, the tree fell.
Yeah.
So you can see how we kind of be throwing rocks in an empty room if we don't come to a common definition.
Yep.
So I took the liberty of finding a third-party definition, not one that I created, not one that you created, and I think this is the most fair way to do it, and it's the first definition that comes up on Google. So wet, covered or saturated with water or another liquid. Do you agree with that?
I would say so, yes. I
So
agree with that
we
statement.
agree on that definition.
Definitely.
Then I think we're in store for a very clean debate, everybody.
Sounds good.
So should I go first?
Start us off, Lewis.
All right. So now that we've defined what wet is, we should define what water is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the most common and logical definition for water is 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. H2O.
That's true.
That is water.
Mm-hmm.
The combination of those 3 elements is water. A molecule of water.
That's correct.
So, if we take a drop of water, because water has no prerequisite of how much or how little it has to be to constitute being water,
That's
it's
true.
just one molecule, right? So, I'm getting somewhere with this.
Yep, I'm
So,
listening.
if you have a drop of water, which is billions upon billions of molecules, if you take one molecule, that one molecule is surrounded, covered, and saturated by other molecules of water. Therefore, it is wet.
Is this the end of your point, Lewis?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my argument. And I'm going to... Now, you were very respectful. I'm going to let you state your argument, and then we're going to go into some crossfire.
According to Dr. Clary of the World Chemistry Organization, water needs 6 molecules combined to act as a liquid. Right?
Okay.
Hear me out. So, if there's less than 6 molecules of water attached together, they act as a solid and cannot produce a raindrop because it's too light, right?
Yeah.
And if it's a solid, you can't be saturated in it, correct?
Yes.
And so it needs 6 to form the 3D lattice, which forms a drop. Right? So by saying, say I've got 2 molecules of water.
Yep.
Both of them aren't wet.
Okay.
Yeah. Another thing is, right, you're saying that if water touches water, the water is wet, correct?
Yeah, because
However,
the definition of water is to be covered or saturated with water.
However, if you burn something with fire, right?
Yeah.
And then you take the fire away. The fire itself is not burnt, correct?
Yeah.
The same logic applies here.
I'm hesitant to call a straw man here.
The straw man?
I think you're going off on a tangent.
I'm not. I'm just using a secondary.
Reel it in, mate.
Reel it in. But yeah, no. The fire itself isn't burnt, just as water itself isn't wet, right?
Well, I disagree. The water is wet.
It's not.
Well, continue. Continue.
Yeah. So, just a quote from Dr. Clary.
Dr. Clary.
Yep.
What is Dr. Clary's PhD in?
I don't know. Just said Dr. Clary in the website, mate.
Oh, well, that doesn't seem very. It doesn't seem very.
Add a sixth molecule to the group, and the cluster switches to a three-dimensional lattice, cage-like structure, which mimics the familiar properties of bulk water. As soon as you get six, it flips over to 3 dimensions, and that's why it suddenly has the properties of water. Therefore, a molecule on top of a molecule of water cannot be wet, as it isn't technically saturating it.
But a drop of water has billions of molecules.
Just 6.
No, but if I poured a little bit of water in your hand.
It's a bit more than a drop.
Yeah, well, let's say I put exactly one little drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's billions of molecules.
You'd be surprised. I mean, Dr. Clary here from the World Chemistry Organization says differently. And I trust his PhD in waterology more than I trust
Waterology? That's a made-up field.
It's not.
That's a made-up field.
Search it up.
No.
Search it up.
We got Sean right here. Sean, can you look up? Sean's behind the camera. Sean, waterology, that is not a real thing.
It is.
It's not a real thing.
No, it is. Totally.
Waterology?
Sean, give me $20. No, it's real.
What is the field of waterology?
No, it is. You just didn't search up hard enough.
Sean's got an editor's note. It is not a real thing.
No, you just didn't search hard enough. All right. So.
What do you mean, all right? You can't just claim to have created a field of science and then move on.
No, it's a field of science. Dr. Clary's the only one in it.
You have created a synthetic field of science.
Wetness is the ability of a liquid to adhere to the surface of a solid.
All right, all credibility that you have is now lost.
No.
You can't just... No. Let's move on.
Okay.
Wait, what?
So wetness is the ability of a liquid to adhere to the surface of a solid. We've agreed in that statement?
What? No, repeat that.
Wetness is the ability of a liquid to adhere to the surface of a solid.
No, wet. The definition that you agreed to, Ari, was that water, to be wet...
is to be covered in water, correct?
Covered or saturated with water, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when we say that something is wet, we mean that the liquid is sticking to the surface of the material. Agreed?
We're saying that it's covered or saturated by the water.
So it's stuck to the material, the surface. So say, right, you covered that little ukulele there in water, right?
Ukulele.
The water's sticking to the ukulele. It's making the ukulele wet.
Yeah, but what if the drop rolls down and falls off? It's still wet.
Yeah, okay, I agree with that. The guitar's still wet, correct. So
it's a ukulele, mate. It's not a guitar.
My bad.
Your argument is falling apart at the seams.
Yeah, well, I had a bad morning, alright? But yeah, no, so if the water's on the guitar, right, the water itself cannot be wet as it is producing the wet, right? It isn't wet because it's being there, its existence there is what makes it wet, right? Because it's covered in water. Water isn't wet, and water makes something wet. Just as fire isn't burnt, it makes something burnt.
Well, I can agree that the water in that example may not be wet, but it's the topic isn't that water is constantly wet. Water can be wet. Water is wet.
No, it's not. It's not.
What do you mean?
Water is never wet. Water makes things wet, but is not wet on itself.
But if we...
Okay. So if you have a pool, right? You put your hand in the pool.
Yeah.
Right? Your hand is wet.
Yeah.
But never at one point did you think, wow, man, this pool is wet. Because it's just water.
No, the water in the pool is wet. The pool may not be wet, but the water is wet.
That's you're wrong, because the pool is wet because it's covered in water on the inside.
Yeah, but... Ari,
the water, no one thinks the water is wet.
You're listening, but you're not hearing. Mate,
I'm not a toddler, mate.
I outlined a very comprehensive argument, and you're just ignoring it, mate.
Dr. Clary said otherwise.
No, well, bloody Lewis Desmond is saying this way, mate. I'm telling you that you agreed that water is H2O.
That's true.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
So when water, you never have a singular... I agree with you that if we could have one singular molecule of water, it's not wet.
Mm-hmm.
We can agree on that.
Yeah.
But as soon as there are multiple molecules all together covering and saturating each other, they are wet.
So what you're telling me is that the existence of the water there makes it wet?
Yes, because it is covered and saturated.
Yes, but the water itself doesn't make it wet because those individual molecules of water aren't wet themselves, correct?
They
aren't, right? So you're outlining that one molecule of water surrounded by other molecules of water are wet, right?
Yeah.
This molecule is wet in the middle. Take away this molecule, right? Neither molecule are wet. So you're saying there that the existence of the H2O makes it wet, not the H2O itself.
I can agree with you that wetness is not an inherent characteristic of water. It is when
It
it
is
a combination.
Yeah, it's when it's there.
Wetness is the byproduct of a combination of water and something else.
So we've kind of just merged. We're kind of at the same point
No,
here,
but
aren't we?
I'm not accepting that we still fundamentally disagree.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we've both put out solid points. What do you think? Back at home, watching.
Yeah, leave us
Put
a
us
comment.
in the comments. Yeah, just
Leave us in a comment. We'll do a poll.
yeah.
But I still like this video if you think if water's wet, and dislike if you think that water is not wet.
Lewis, that seems like a bad business idea. Just like a business
No, because I agree that I think that my point is so strong that no one's going to agree with you, mate.
I agree that Dr. Clary was a bit of a made up, right? However,
Dr. Clary,
my point still stands.
You made up Dr. Clary?
No, that was a real person. I just didn't know what field he was in.
Waterology. You're gonna
It's a
take.
thing,
You're gonna. Oh my
man.
god. You're gonna take advice. Sean's gonna put up a. He's gonna put up a screenshot of the Google. So it's gonna say waterology. And it's gonna. Did you mean something else? Because it doesn't exist.
Nah, it's right there. See, there's a couple websites.
You're pointing to nothing.
I'm pointing to the computer.
There is. We film in front of a void. There's nothing behind the camera. But I don't want to let you get away with this, because
Lewis, we're gonna run in circles here, man.
no.
We're both adamant enough to not give up. We know that.
Well,
We have other points to talk
I
about,
will
man.
secede that a singular molecule of water is not wet.
Therefore, if a molecule is on another molecule of water, right, the existence of the water there is what makes the wet, correct? You're
But
agreeing here.
Wetness is a byproduct of water
Yes.
plus X. X
Yeah.
can be anything.
Water needs to be present. However, water itself on its own is not wet. A single molecule of water is not wet, which is what I'm explaining to you. Water in itself is not wet.
Are you done?
No, I'm done.
Okay. I think we should make
Yeah, so
some.
water is not...
I think we should make some closing remarks to the
We
debate, so that people at home can make up their own minds. I don't think they should listen to either of us. I don't think we really know what we're talking about. But I just want to say that we defined water, we defined wet, and any logical, it would be a logical fallacy if you agreed with Ari. I'm gonna try and wrap it up before I bring out my Ben Shapiro impression.
I have proven beyond reasonable doubt that water is not wet.
You didn't even let me finish. You don't even have like debate etiquette, mate.
Moving on, right?
Where's your closing remarks?
Yeah, I just said it. I have proven beyond reasonable doubt
But
that
what-
water is not wet, right? If you say Lewis is right, I'll leave the podcast. And
I
now
think-
what?
I
I hold the trump card.
okay. Well, I think that's more of an opportunity than a. I think that people can vote.
Yeah. Alright. We should move on. We'll go on in circles
Let's
here.
move on, but we're getting a bit too heated. I think
Yeah.
the next topic
It's
is
like
something.
20 minutes. So our next topic is sports that technically are sports, but shouldn't be sports at all.
Now, when I was in year 8,
Mhm.
I had a debate about it was something about like non-traditional sports should be added to the Olympics.
No, they shouldn't. Sports that require no physical ability should not be in the Olympics.
The Olympics is so far from what it. I mean, we're both Greek,
Yes.
right? Bring back the traditional Olympics, dude.
Naked men
naked
throwing
men
things.
throwing discuses and running. That's what it should be. I mean, what is there's like skateboarding and like kick flipping and like boxing in the Olympics.
Okay,
What
all
the
I'm
hell
saying is boxing is a very physically intensive sport. It deserves to be in the Olympics.
No, but
Skateboarding the same. Requires
the
balance.
Olympics is like track and field events.
Not always. There's also swimming events as well.
Oh yeah, but like
You know, I define something in the Olympics like a sport requires like physical skill, right?
well, the definition of a sport is an activity that has physical exertion and usually contains an opponent.
Yeah. Okay. So here is I'm just gonna roll things off here on
Sure.
what shouldn't be sports. They aren't the Olympics, but they're classified as sports, right? Chess shouldn't be a sport.
It's a sport.
It's not a
You're
sport.
competing.
Nah. Chess isn't a sport, bro.
What do you categorize it then as?
Category? I don't know. A game. Chess isn't a sport. Poker, not a sport. Billiards, pool, not a sport.
But
Cup stacking, that's technically a sport.
a game
no.
and a sport are not mutually exclusive. You can define things as the same thing.
No, you can't lose.
But like a soccer, I'm going to my soccer game.
No, that's a sport. It's just called a game. It's a sport.
So things can be a sport and a game.
No. Because something is classified as a game. You don't go, I'm going to my chess game. No, you're gonna play chess.
Wait. So all sports are a game, but not all games are a sport.
Exactly.
So it's like not all thumbs are fingers, but not all fingers are thumbs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, of course you can, Lewis.
What were some of the more sports you were talking about?
Yeah, billiards, pool,
Mm-hmm.
right? I don't think that should be in the Olympics. They're going to put that in, right? Bowling? I don't know about bowling as much. Like, I can see that.
Bowling's
But
a
like,
sport. There's like bowling tournaments.
It's getting loose. It's loose there, mate. It's a bit loose.
But
right?
you're competing.
Nah, but the one I hate most, cup stacking. You know, like stack
that
the
like
cups
the
really
speed
fast.
thing?
Yeah, the speed thing. Yeah, and like Rubik's cube. That's technically a sport. No,
But
it's not.
You're not okay.
Those aren't sports.
I can agree with you on the Rubik's cube thing because you're not competing against anyone.
Technically, you are because you could go on for the world record. But no, those aren't sports. There's no there's no sports.
Well, no, because Rubik's cube, you're competing against yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not a sport.
Oh, I got the hiccups now.
Ah.
It's a terrible time to have hiccups. I just
Yeah.
keep talking, Ari. I'll try and combat these.
But like stuff nah, you recognize a sport as like, you got footy, right? Let's look at the Olympics, for example, right?
But
You've got running, hammer throw,
you need
all
to
that.
challenge you need to challenge your perception of a sport.
Didn't you just say that you needed to bring the Olympics back to its very basic state? Isn't that what you just said?
Yeah, but what's in the Olympics and what's not doesn't constitute if it's a sport or not.
It constitutes, kind of. Not really, but
Well,
still, like, the Olympics are the benchmark for sport. We
Yeah,
can
but-
agree that, right?
before basketball was in the Olympics, it was still a sport.
That's correct, because it required physical intensity, Stuff like billiards, it isn't really intense,
No,
right?
but I feel like if you're an older person, it could be physically.
Yeah, if you're 45, bro, I reckon chess.
Not
is a
that
bit
45 is old. We know that
Yeah,
our
of course not.
we know
No,
that our
no, no.
demographic contains a lot of parents.
45 is quite young.
45 is the new 35.
Yeah. And 35 is basically 25, as we all
And
know.
if you round down, it's basically 20.
Yeah.
You're
And 20 is basically 18.
Yeah, you're basically 18. That's
Yeah.
what we wanted to say.
Yeah.
But back to the topic. I think the Olympics. This is going back. I think that change the name. Like you can have this because I think the sport's important for like. I think it's a sport. Sorry,
Lewis, I know darn well you aren't suggesting you change the name of the Olympics.
dude. No, I'm just saying because it is so far from what the Olympics is.
Olympics is a sport competition.
No, but I think the Olympics is an important diplomatic exercise. But I just think that. The Olympics is just so far from what it used to be. Do you want to know a fun fact about the Olympics?
You go ahead, Lewis.
There are 203 countries that compete in the Olympics,
That's lovely.
but there are only 193 countries represented in the UN. Now, you're going to ask, where do these 10 countries come from? Well, I'm going to forget its name now. The US Virgin Islands is technically a territory of the United States, but it competes in the Olympics as its own country.
I see.
So I was watching a video about how many countries there are, but it was an interesting fact. And now I've kind of put myself on a dead end. Rescue me, Ari.
Yeah, the US Virgin Islands reminds me of the Canary Islands, right?
No, dude, it's Virgin Islands.
I think you said Virgil.
What is Virgil?
No, like, moving on. This is a train wreck this episode.
We're gonna reel it in.
We're gonna reel it in. No, we got a bit more time to talk about my last topic.
Yeah, sure.
I'd like to talk about months of the year, and which ones suck and which ones don't.
Yeah, I think. We're gonna talk about like weather and vibes.
Yeah,
Dude, weather and vibes. It should have been our podcast name.
maybe. It's always bad here.
Do you want to start us off?
Yeah. So in my least favorite month
Yeah.
is July.
July?
Yeah, it's got a weak name and nothing happens.
What? July is like school holidays. You don't like holidays?
Weak name, July.
I'm sure it's got some cool meaning.
It's named after Julius Augustus Caesar, mate.
He's a cool guy. No, that was August.
It's both.
Why did he get 2 months?
Because it's July, August. I'm actually going to talk about that later.
Sean, put that up. Put up the definition of July. Just when you
Editor's note. In post,
editor's
mate.
note.
What's your least favorite month, Lewis?
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm kind of freestyling here. I think that I think it definitely is going to be a mid-year, like winter month.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon
July.
I reckon a June or a July. But if I had to pinpoint, I'd say June, just to be different, because my name day's in July, so I'm biased.
Yeah. June is my 11th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
June and July.
Yeah.
So this is a time of the year thing.
Yeah. June is the same as July, but the name is slightly cooler. It's just more aesthetically pleasing.
June.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue.
Makes a good name as well.
When was the last time you met someone named July?
That's kind of a big, like, that's a baller move.
Name your kid July?
July.
Nah, bro.
No, because then you can call him like Jules or Lie.
It's good.
Lie. Hey, yo, Lie.
It's Lice. There he is.
Hey, it's Lie. I think my second, I wouldn't put June. I think, I'm trying to remember the months of the year. I've never been good at them.
Only 12, mate. Use knuckles with your fingers.
Oh yeah, right. Look, I think April's got Easter.
April is Easter.
But what comes after April? Is it June?
April, May.
May. Oh, what happens in May? That's a
yep, there it is.
That's a dumb name.
Yeah.
May.
Oh, you don't like May?
May?
No, May's like an OG
May.
3-letter, bro.
It's just it's like a single syllable. May.
Yeah.
May.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
You've said it enough.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to think about it. What's your next?
Right, so my 10th, right? I put January.
Why?
I put January there because January is pretty much, in terms of like vibes, Sunday. Because you've got the looming threat of school, right? And you're just sitting there like, wow, it's about to end.
And nothing happens in January.
Nothing happens. Nothing important, at least.
Except for my birthday.
Nothing important.
Dude, actually, this is a funny story.
Yep.
So, growing up in primary school.
That's
Sorry.
gross.
I think you. Growing up in primary school, you know how you play that game where it's like, let's line up in birthday order.
Yeah.
And
you always walk to the front?
I always walk to the front. I never knew anyone who was born in July. No one. Everyone was born in February, November, whatever. No one was ever born in July. And I was always like, yep, I'm going to walk to the front.
Do you mean January?
Yeah, January.
Yeah.
Sorry. But then, now that I have, since primary school, I have met people.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend who's born on the 3rd of January. You know who you are. I have a friend who's born on the 4th of January. You know who you are. And then I'm born on the 5th of January. And then I also know someone who's also born on the 5th of January. And then I've got a friend who's born on the 13th, the 15th. And then I also have another person who's born on the 4th. There's like everyone's born in January.
We have a set amount of time to get through, Lewis.
No, but I'm still going. I'm
rambling.
Dude, January is a good month. I mean, maybe it gets hot, yeah, but I'm just saying that, like, it's pretty solid because you get, like, the entire month free from school. Like, what other month can you say that about?
December.
No.
There's no school in December.
No, we, like, go into, like, the start of December.
No, it ends in November, I swear.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exams end in November.
Oh, no, but, like previous years, it's, like, ended, like, the 5th of December.
Barely, bro.
My primary school, like, I swear, in primary school, I remember finishing school, like, 2 days before Christmas. Like, they go into December.
That's primary schools, though.
Yeah, but, like...
All right.
I reject the premise that December is a school-free month.
We're going to move forward here, Lewis.
Okay, let's keep
moving on a bit. Then I've got February. What, thinks it's cool for having, like, 0 days? we get it. You're trying to be different, but
I know,
it's gross. No.
What about leap... Oh, God, sorry. What about leap days?
The only good thing about leap years is that, you know, the Olympics are coming. That's it.
And not last year. Japan Olympics, ooh.
No, that's this year, though. They moved forward.
A little link back to the previous. That's a little segue. I like that.
They're moving us forward. It's good.
I knew someone who was born on the leap day.
I do too.
That's cool and all, but like it gets annoying to a point where they're like,
"Oh, you're 4 years old now."
Yeah. I'm literally 4 years old. No, you're not. You don't age in 4-year blocks.
Imagine if they did.
Oh my, that'd be
immortality.
Oh,
not really. 400 years old though.
If you could live forever, would you?
Next episode.
Okay.
Next episode. All right. Then I've got May after that.
Yeah, well, I had May down.
Yeah, only because it's like there's literally nothing in it, but the 3 letters relates to my name. Ari, 3 letters.
So you see it and you go, Ari.
Yeah, of course, bro.
You connect it to yourself.
Yeah. Like the cogs in my brain were turning. There's 7 cogs in there.
It's like how when Donald Trump was president, his advisors would have to put the word Trump in every second sentence, otherwise he'd stop listening.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
He
funny.
couldn't listen. They'd literally have to put his name in the not to get political. Ooh. We are only second episode in, we're getting political.
We're all Australians here, mate. There's no Republicans here.
I mean, the pillow is already a political statement. There we go. I haven't been naming my months. I kind of been reacting to your list, which I'm fine with, but
Yeah, you don't really have a definitive list here, Lewis. This might take a while.
I'm just kind of going off the vibes.
Yeah. Do you want me to keep going?
Yeah, you keep going.
All right. Yep. So then after that, I've got April, Easter. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can agree with that.
Yep. Then I've got October. Sorry. September is first. There you go. Yep. September. It's not the seventh month. Month.
I like September.
Yeah, but it's not the seventh month, and it annoys me. Really annoys me. Only because Julius Augustus Caesar put his name in the months, made July and August, and moved everything forward by 2. That's why I don't like
Yeah,
it.
but I like the Earth, Wind and Fire song.
So do I, but that doesn't stop it from being the 7th month, right?
Nah, but it's like, what other month has a banger named after it?
There's some Halloween songs.
No, but they're not about October.
Yeah, there's Christmas songs. Surely something.
No, but they're not about December. They're
Surely
about Christmas.
one thing talks about December.
No. Like, look, no. Christmas songs are about a day in December. Sorry. The September song by Earth, Wind and Fire is about the entire month. Actually, no,
it's about the 21st of September.
Yeah, but it's named after the month. You don't get a Christmas song named December.
I'm sure there's one.
There's not.
Editor's note, Sean. Put one in.
Check if there's a song named December.
All right, moving on. October. It's the same.
But that movie
Should be the 8th month. Not.
But
Thanks,
I like
Augustus Caesar.
What about the movie Red October?
Dude, I don't know what you're on about.
Sean Connery. Okay, whatever. The Hunt for Red October.
Nah, never heard of it.
Oh, whatever.
Right, then I've got August. Mad Willy Wonka vibes. I like that movie.
Which one do you like though?
Both. They're both pretty good. The first one's better, but it's a bit scarier.
Do you want to hear a fun fact about the first one?
Sure.
So when they were casting the Oompa Loompas, the film is filmed in Germany, right? And they were trying to cast little people to be the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
But they couldn't find any because
They killed them all, yeah.
during the Holocaust, Hitler killed all of the little people.
Mm.
So they had to hire people in from Turkey. It's not really a fun fact.
So, yeah, it's a bit of an unfun fact there, mate.
But that's a fact. I dislike the new one. I like what's his name? What's the actor's name?
Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp. I don't know what he's doing in that film.
A lot.
And then why do we need to get Willy Wonka's backstory? Like, why do we need to go to the Oompa Loompa forest and
But it's so deep.
why does he have daddy issues?
Bro, it adds character.
No, but the thing about the first one is that Willy Wonka, you don't know anything about him. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And now you see him going through a forest with a machete, bro.
Yeah, but it's funny.
What's your next month, Ari?
I've got March, right? And only because I've got heaps of mates' birthdays there. So I get to go out a lot with all my friends, all my buddies.
So you are factoring in birthdays.
Yes.
And January.
January remains 10th.
January remains. Okay.
Then I've got November, right? Yep. We've got Melbourne Cup, which I like watching.
No.
End of the school year. About.
Say nup to the cup.
Okay.
Do you even
And
watch
my
the? Do
birthday.
you even watch the cup?
I'll watch the one race, then go back to my room.
Okay, fair enough.
And then obviously number one spot is December, which is unmatched. It's by like a landslide. December's
No,
the best
it's
month.
not. I disagree with
Excuse
you.
you?
I disagree.
December isn't the best month?
Well,
I might grab out of this chair and punch you in the face, Lewis.
It's got Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Christmas isn't that great.
Christmas is the best holiday of all year. It's the best holiday.
No.
Yes.
No,
Christmas
you know what it
is
is?
the best holiday of the year.
May the 4th. May the 4th be
Alright, we're
with
going to finish up there.
No, we're going to keep going. May the 4th be with you, mate. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah, I don't get presents on May the 4th, though.
Oh, so the value of a holiday is dependent on how many gifts you receive.
Yep.
You are too quick to agree.
I know. Alright, let's end up
Yeah.
there.
The thing about the story of Christmas, like,
It's all about giving. No.
yeah, give me presents.
Exactly.
Dude, capitalism has ruined Christmas.
You
Commercialization.
get too political for this, mate. You get way too political for it.
Dude, don't turn away Golf Whitlam's face. I want to speak to him.
No, because you're being mean.
No, Christmas is about I like Christmas because you see your family and stuff. But like, dude, I I don't like how commercialized it is.
I know why you don't like it, Lewis. I know the
No.
real reason.
Tell me why.
You got socks last year, didn't you?
Dude, socks.
You got a belt, didn't you?
Socks are the best present.
Yeah, I knew you got
Dude,
socks, and
no,
that's why you don't like it.
I'm not Oh my god, I've done it again. I'm not salty. This is. Oh my god, this.
You are a bit salty, Lewis.
Why?
Let's just end off here because I think we've gone over time.
We're coming up on the end of the episode. Any final remarks?
Yeah, just put in the comments who won the first debate.
Yeah.
And if I lose, I will be living Pillow Fight forever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
This will be our final episode. And if Lewis wins, he'll give everyone in the comments $1,000 each.
Well.
All right, that's it.
Also, again, we want to mention thank you for the support,
Obviously.
and we hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Make sure to keep liking and commenting.
Yeah.
Helps us out, and keep telling us what you think about the podcast. We appreciate every message.
We enjoy getting the messages.
Yeah, and it's really humbling that people take the time out of their day to send us messages.
Mm-hmm.
But without a further ado, Sean, hit the music.
This is Pillow Fight signing off.
This is Pillow Fight signing off. We're playing the music.
Oh, this music's great.
Oh, dude, music to my ears.
Ooh.
Ooh.
There we go.
All right, we're gonna reel it out.
Reel it out.
Yeah.